JLR investigates. The FBI has this guy's phone. And we're talking about 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, the Trump shooter. He's from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. He lived inside a home with his parents and took his dad's rifle and traveled an hour north of his home to Butler, Pennsylvania, and climbed onto a roof and tried to take out the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. In the process, he shot another former firefighter, lost his life. Others injured. Mass chaos. FBI was able to get this guy's phone. And they're analyzing his phone right now. They took it to their lab in Quantico, Virginia. What is inside this guy's phone and what kind of clues could be discovered and revealed? Now, a former FBI agent speaks, and I want to share what he has to say because he gives tremendous knowledge and analysis on the phone aspect of this investigation. I'm going to share this clip with you. Check it out.
The FBI is well known for its expertise and capabilities of cell phone tracking, right, through what is known as the CAST unit. That's the cellular analysis surveillance team. And they would be able to look through his phone, be able to download whatever it is through the softwares that they have, and through cell tower information. Of course, this is a rural area. Did he leave that area? Was he venturing out? Was he communicating with anybody? So they'll be able to piece his whereabouts, tracking, etc. Having his phone is a great thing. You know, it's one thing to do that of somebody's phone through cell towers, through the cell phone number, and gathering all that data from everything outside his phone. And then, of course, having his phone will offer additional pieces of evidence, and his laptop. So, I mean, the FBI equally, the same unit, we have these CAST and CART units. And these are expert units of people that we have, you know, throughout the years, especially early in my career. They were around. They were starting to get better and better. But now I would say in 2024, the FBI is second to none with regards to their experts. And then, of course, having laboratories in place with the best tools available. So they're going to download everything. They're going to go through phone, laptop or desktop, whatever it is that they captured. Maybe there are multiple devices, and what they're looking for is who, if anyone, was he in contact with, and if not in contact with anyone, and gathering information, what was he reviewing, reading, researching? For example, I've heard reports with regards to some bomb-making materials, both in the car and the home. How far advanced was he in those devices? So were they improvised devices that were already ready to go, or was it materials that, for whatever reason, was just to throw dogs off and whatnot, just to delay the inevitable of a search, both of his home and the car. And with regards to research, they want to know how long he had been doing this, right? The research that's led into the ultimate act of taking a rifle up on top of a rooftop and then firing it into a crowd. Was his target ultimately the former president of the United States, Donald Trump? Or was he, and perhaps they'll know this through some research and any writings that he might have done, authored himself, or was he looking to go out with a bang? And was he just looking to do a mass shooting? And of course, what better way to do a mass shooting than what came to his doorstep, right? Even though, from what I gather, he lived maybe 40 miles from the rally point, that's relatively close, especially if you're in rural USA, rural Pennsylvania. and then to realize, hey, there's a rally and there's going to be tens of thousands of people that are going to be flocking to what is an open field. And so it will be, there will be plenty of evidence that the FBI will be combing through just in those devices alone. And then, of course, did he leave a manifesto? Did he write? Did he journal? And if they're not handwritten notes in a notebook somewhere, was he doing it online? Just amazing piece of evidence, and that's ultimately going to get into what's inside his head, which we would have done, the FBI, if in fact he was taken into custody and interviewed. And of course, we know that not to be true. So thereby, all they have is to go through troves of evidence, and nothing better than what he would have been writing, journaling, researching to gather the best. And minus an interview of somebody that can say, I did have contact. I might not have been a friend with him, but I was a pen pal or something, and often talking to him about one thing or another, one conspiracy or another. Was he anti-government? Was he just all of a sudden, whatever mental health diagnoses or undiagnoses? For example, was he seeing anybody? And if he wasn't currently, they'll be able to go through past records of potential diagnoses and whatnot. So, yes, there are lots of people who are loners that have no ill will or mass attack or willing to or fantasizing about going out and seeking to harm the former president of the United States, and then of course uh, um, the former chief of, I believe, Buffalo Township, and then of course the others who were injured. I mean, it's um, there's a lot to go through, and the FBI will spare nothing in order to be able to say we've done everything in our power, and we do have a motive, or we've done everything in our power and we can only suspect what that motive is. If it in fact they find that he was in communication with no one, right? Often, so let's look at this as a mass shooting. We had plenty of those in the United States, and a variety of ages, but there are quite a few young people between acts of violence in a school or acts of violence in some public forum. And we have found through history that they often bleed. In other words, they leak information, whether it be to a friend, a family member, somebody. Like anything else, you don't take it serious enough, but after the fact, you could say, oh my gosh, I know he or she talked about it, but never expected them to follow through with that. If that is minus here, and there is nobody else because of the life he lived, and he is a true lone wolf.
Well, hopefully the FBI got into the phone. And if they did get into the phone, let's hope they share what they uncovered. I'm suspecting the guy has made some Google searches and had correspondence and with people, and the tracking, the digital footprints of this guy will shed light to what he did, because it's still a mystery. Did he act alone? Was he involved with anyone? Is there a bigger plot? I don't know, but hopefully we will get an understanding very, very soon. And when we do, I will share with all of you. Now, covering this guy, also, folks, FBI Cast. FBI Cast can pinpoint someone's phone, right? Pinpoint someone's phone to the exact location. And maybe that will reveal every step this dude took. It's important for the public to know. And hopefully this type of crime never, ever happens again. I am JLR Investigate. Check out my playlist. Subscribe to the channel. Like, hit the notification button. When more information comes out about this case, I will share with all of you. I am JLR Investigates. Stay tuned.